The right-wing hate account Libs of TikTok is being called out by some of its own fans for doing the cancel culture. On Saturday, of course, we know a lone gunman had attempted to assassinate former president and convicted criminal Donald Trump, shooting him in the ear at a Pennsylvania campaign rally. Since then, of course, people have joked about it online, they've memed it, they've expressed comments about how they wish the shooter hadn't missed. I don't like those comments. I'm fair about that. I don't like political violence, et cetera, right? Now, that said, as a result, Chaya Raichik, who runs the account, Libs of TikTok, has been actually seeking these people out and getting them fired from their jobs, which, again, is cancel culture, the thing that conservatives are supposed to be against. In fact, one of the Raichik's posts focused on Allison Scott, an Ardmore, Oklahoma high school teacher. Now, Libs of TikTok's post read, "Meet Allison Scott, teacher at Ardmore. She appears sad that the shooter missed and wishes he had a better scope. These are the people that are educating your kids." Now, that post led to Ryan Walters, Oklahoma's superintendent of public instruction, to call Scott's comment unacceptable and said the state's Department of Education was investigating her. Now, look, you can have an opinion and say, yeah, that's unacceptable. I don't like that you said that. But apparently investigating this person and then eventually, as this is what happened, firing said teacher as a result of having a political opinion, unacceptable. Also unacceptable, I should say. In fact, Scott's employer, Ardmore High School, released a statement saying the school is aware of Scott's comment and had begun a thorough and swift investigation. Ardmore City School strongly condemns acts of physical violence and any words that seek to encourage it, no matter the target. "I've investigated enough," Walters tweeted. "She will no longer be teaching in Oklahoma." So, now look, since Trump was shot on Saturday, Raichik has shared personal information of more than 50 people who posted online saying, like, in what many cases could be just snarky stuff like, that's a bummer that he missed. Subject of the tweets included teachers, professors, nurses, doctors, and retail, and even service industry workers who she has successfully gotten fired. She has posted comments from Facebook, LinkedIn, and even Nextdoor, saying, "I've officially dedicated all of Libs of TikTok's resources towards exposing these people to the world. Believe me, they will be held accountable by society." For what? Having an opinion? An opinion that I don't agree with? And I'm saying that for me, I don't agree with what they're saying because, again, I do think that's like, at the very least, celebrating an act of violence, which, I don't like, right? But getting them to lose their jobs? Really? This is what you're doing? Cancel culture? As a result of her tweets, the subjects have been fired, suspended, and investigated. Again, I don't condone violence. I don't condone the things that these people have said. But saying that doesn't actually have anything to do with the attempt on Trump's life. It's not like they're going out there and doing that. I mean, you got to wonder why she is so focused on going after these people who had nothing to do with what happened. It can't be about her taking a stance against violence, because remember, I talked about how recently she cheered on violence against a child who came out as non-binary. She was put in a they were put in a headlock by their grandfather for wanting to be, wanting family members to use they, them pronouns. That's it. That's it. Raichik said, quote, "Based grandfather," after, again, doing literal child abuse. Posts of hers have inspired more than 20 violent threats across the country at hospitals and schools. So I don't think she cares at all about political violence. It just so happens to have been political violence aimed at someone on her side. And so she wants to punish people for having a different opinion. Had this happened to Joe Biden, I don't think that she would be zealously going after people for expressing a similar opinion. No, I don't think so at all. So that said, there were members of the Free Speech Brigade that actually did speak up. Again, these are conservative. These are people that I don't really have any real political agreements with, right? That were calling out Rycik for celebrating cancel culture. In fact, one self-described free speech absolutist said this, quote, "This cancellation campaign is getting really old really fast." Another thing said, "People don't need to be fired for every stupid thing they say on the internet." One particular post got a lot of pushback. It's where someone literally filmed themselves as a result of Rycik's posts, going to Home Depot to confront an employee they say had posted about Trump. Now, Home Depot had replied to Rycik's post, announcing that an employee had been fired. One conservative influencer had actually responded by saying, quote, "It is not a good thing to celebrate getting minimum wage customer service workers fired for saying mean things online. I hope you stop this." I agree with that. Another said, "I get going after professors who have an influence on molding America's youth, but some lady at Home Depot? Come on." Another said, "You're at risk of completely negating all the positive work that you've done with this deeply misguided cancellation campaign." You know, I've been wondering for a while where the line was with these people. Apparently we found it. I mean, I actually agree with these conservatives that you shouldn't be getting minimum wage workers fired for saying mean things online about Trump or any politician, for example. Biden, I mean, look, I see all sorts of awful opinions about Joe Biden or, Bernie Sanders, AOC, etc., Biden, Democrat, whatever, right? I see horrible opinions about politicians all the time. And I think that as long as they're not actual threats or posts that actually endanger people's lives, then as an American, I think you're allowed to have your own opinion. I know, right? And again, I say this as someone who does not like the comments that many of the people whom I agree with politically have made about the shooting. I disagree with any like celebration of violence or snarky desire to like, oh God, I wish he wouldn't have missed. Okay, well, I don't like that, but whatever, right? I'm a nonviolent person. I don't like to see people hurt. Even if they are terrible people, I still don't like to see people hurt. And maybe that's why I'm bleeding heart, right? But apparently, I am also the opposite of Chaya Rycik, like the extreme polar opposite on this one, who just appears to want to spread misery everywhere she goes to people who are on the opposite side of her politically. No problem with, celebrating and condoning violence for people on her side. But when it comes to people on the other side, she is all in like gangbusters, like you wouldn't believe. So that is her absolute hypocrisy on this issue. And I'm glad that there are people on her side, normally on the right wing, who are actually calling her out. It's one of those rare moments where members of both sides can actually get together and be like, yo, Chaya Rycik is a horrible person. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.